Hello, my name is Dr. Chaim Yankova Lipschitz. Well, that's not my name, but that's what my name would have been if my ancestors had stayed in Eastern Europe and I had my mother's maiden name. I would never make fun of someone with a disability, or someone named something exotic like Lipschitz, or blame a calamity on a certain group of people, or try to stop people in need from immigrating to the United States of America. Perhaps I should tell our leadership about these ideas. Why am I like this? Someone very special taught me how to stand for something, how to say no to nihilism, and how to tell the truth from fake news. He is a man with a beard. This man is Fyodor Dostoyevsky. Fyodor Dostoyevsky is famous for two things. He was born in 1821 in Moscow and died in 1881. When he was a young lad, he met with other friends in a room to read books. Sometimes they traded ideas and shared them from afar, like artists in isolation are doing these days. The Tsar's government saw this as an assassination plot, and so Dostoyevsky was sent to prison in Siberia. When he was released, he started writing books of his own, including the very long Brothers Karamazov. It is now known at the time of his death the author had plans to write two sequels to the Brothers Karamazov. However, were these the real last works of Dostoyevsky? Modern scholarship says no. Dostoyevsky was in fact making plans to translate his earlier books into Yiddish. Enter the translator, Shalom Aleichem. That's not just a greeting, that's his name. Born in 1859 in the vicinity of Kiev, this gentleman came from humble origins and went on to write the Tevye stories, which inspired Fiddler on the Roof, familiar to theater people and non-theater people alike. What did these men have in common? A great interest in the common people, certainly, and powerful ethical drives. The two writers met several times in the early 1880s and filled several notebooks of ideas for the Yiddish translations. Regrettably, Dostoevsky died on February 9th, 1881. But get this, on March 13th, 1881, the Tsar was assassinated by somebody else. An official inquiry grudgingly concluded that Dostoevsky could not be responsible at that time. So, Russia blamed the Jews. Yes, all of them. The persecution that ensued eventually forced Shalom Aleichem to flee Europe, and he immigrated from Odessa to America in 1905 and lived on New York's Lower East Side. I am here to present to you some hints at the lost Yiddish classics. Der Schmuck, originally called The Idiot, this is the story of Prince Mishkin, a holy fool who in the course of the story fails to prevent a murder, inherit lots of money, or get laid. What a nudnik. The next story I have told you about already is the original Three Putzes, the classic Brothers Karamazov. The three brothers certainly have their faults. One likes religion so much he could care less that all the girls think he's sweet and sensitive. One is a drunk, but otherwise nice. One is innocent of all conflict except he doesn't have anything good to say about his father. Unacceptable from the Jewish perspective. There is a courtroom scene which seems to take hundreds of pages. Shalom Aleichen's notes suggest that adding Talmudic opinion would add to the drama and the length of the trial considerably. Also, this book guest stars both Jesus and the devil, but not in the same scene. The notes hint at a confrontation which some Jews would like to see. Ashanda Farder Goyim. Known to many as Crime and Punishment, this book deals with a guy who murders to see if he can get away with it. Very Jewish, remarked both author and translator in their notes. The guilt. How could you do such a thing? What's the matter with you? A book about nothing. Another famous book by Dostoevsky, sometimes translated as The Possessed or The Devils. Characters in this book enjoy talking about the then-current philosophy of nihilism, thus a suggested new title. About nihilism, back in those days, there was a story about a fictional guy named Rakhmetov. He was furious with the way the world was going. He slept on a bed of nails. For the good of the people, he refused to eat oranges while in the country. In St. Petersburg, he did eat oranges because that's what the common people did. The only thing more batshit crazy than the never-actually-lived Rakhmetov was his future followers, most notably Vladimir Ilyich Lenin. Fine, Be in Pain is a novella which was originally titled Notes from Underground. It's about an angry, antisocial kvetch with a nihilist attitude and who has a toothache. In addition to his other issues, I don't know, what can you really say about him? A Jewish curse be upon him. Some of the other short works of Dostoevsky were considered for their appeal to a Yiddish audience. Poor People was thought to have an instant market niche and did not require a new title. The Gambler did not strike Dostoyevsky and Shalom Aleichem as being very Jewish. They could not have known that Bugsy Siegel and other Jewish gangsters would soon found Las Vegas as we now know it. Though it is sad that these translations were never published, we should be happy. Unlike in Tsarist Russia, we can read as many books as we want. We can say no to fake news and make our own decisions about the world. Amen.